Okay, hi YouTube, this is Keisha again, and this video is for what I do now as far as my foundation. So I'm going to start with what I use for my, you're supposed to moisturize your face. So I hate to say it, but I make my own moisturizer. I make it in a vat this big. I used to sell it, and it's basically I make my own whipped body butter. So, and like I said, I used to sell it, and I may go back to selling it real soon, but at any rate, this is what I use on my face. It's one of the best things I found so far. Sorry, my phone is ringing, but this is the best thing I found so far for my face. And like I said, I make it myself, so it has all natural ingredients in it. But of course, you can moisturize your face with whatever you like. Now, I have combination skin. Everything on my face is normal for the most part, except for like my forehead. My forehead just gets really dry, and then everything else is normal. So I try to make sure I put enough of the body butter on my forehead. Okay, and then next I use a blending sponge. This one is just a tad bit. I've had this one for a minute, so right now I'm putting water in it because, you know, if you've never used a beauty blending sponge, I love it. It's the best thing that I have found so far to put on foundation. And you're supposed to get it pretty wet, I guess. And then make sure that you wring out all the excess. So, alright, so here it is wet. And then what I've been using lately is the Maybelline Dream Nude Air Foam. I really like, you're supposed to shake it up well. I really like how it covers. Now, me myself, I don't need a ton of coverage, but what I did realize when we did the video for My Daughter Does My Face is that it definitely, My Daughter Does My Makeup, is that it definitely can give you a fuller coverage if you need. So I just put about this much on my hand, and then I just pat the beauty sponge in the foundation, and then pat it on my face. And like I said, I don't necessarily need one thing I forgot. Can't believe I'm in the middle of the video and remembered that I forgot. When I did my eyebrows earlier and I did the concealer, usually I put some concealer under my eye, just a little bit. And in case you missed that video, this concealer that I always use is the MAC Cover Up Select Cover Up in NC42. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit more, a little bit under this side. And I don't really need much, but I am starting to get a little bit of darkening under my eyes. Okay, so back to the beauty sponge, the blending sponge. So like I said, you just use it kind of in a stippling motion. Now, one thing that I did buy, I wasn't going to try it right now, but that I cannot wait to try, is a skunk brush. This one is by Sonia Kashuk. I brought a Sonia Kashuk gift set the other day. It had this in it. It had this brush in it. And a couple of other brushes, which I don't see all of them. This one right here, which is a tapered, I guess you call it a tapered or a slanted crease brush. It came with This brush, which they say is for eyeliner, which I will not be using for eyeliner. I'm not sure exactly what I'll be using it for just yet. And it came with this brush. I'm sorry. Picking it up, I kind of misshapen it. This brush. Can't really, I think this is also, I don't know, I can't remember what this brush was for. And it came with this brush, which of course is an eyeshadow brush. But at any rate, back to the foundation. Yes, I am easily, what do you call it? Easily distracted. So, I just stipple all over my face. My nose, my upper lip. I get a little bit of redness around my nose, like in this area right here. And this foundation seems to be able to handle that really well. I try to keep it as light as possible. Because it actually does work really well for me. And then I take the tip of the brush, the tip of the sponge, and go like under my eye. Make sure to get under my eyes to, you know, cover up the concealer so it's all one color. And another thing I do is try to go above my brows. Because remember, I put that concealer up there this morning as well, earlier as well when I do my eyebrows. So I try to put foundation right over top of that so that it's not as obvious that I have foundation up there. And so I get, I use the small end to get on the sides of my nose. And then I come down like under my chin just to make sure that it's basically all one color. And then I take a fluffy brush, which I think I'm going to go ahead and take my new Sonia Kashuk fluffy brush. And the setting powder that I normally use is black Opal. It's called Deluxe Finishing Powder. And this is in 03 medium. And it's weird because it gets so much in the top well of this that what I try to do is just, maybe I'll try to show you. See, it has so much in the top well. So I try to take just like lightly dust my brush in there. Tap off a little bit. Get about that much product. And then I move to the cap and tap off as much as possible so that it gets, a nice amount in the cap. And then that's basically when I start playing around with it and then dusting it over my face. Now sometimes what I do is I wait till the very, very end to do my finishing powder, because depending on what blush I'm going to use, if my blush gets a little bit too, I'm sorry, I see this one hair that fell. Okay, 2 hairs that fell. I guess that's what happens when you have brand new brushes. Sometimes a few stray hairs will fall. But what I try to do is, if my foundation, if my blush is too bright, then I'll put it under my foundation. I put my foundation over top of it, and it really looks almost like I'm truly blushing. Okay, so that's it, and that's what I do for my foundation. I don't have a lot of redness and rosacea and that kind of thing. So, I have some rosacea, but it's not really, really heavy, and I don't have a lot of discoloration on my face. I do have freckles, but I don't try to hide my freckles. So, At any rate, that's what I do for my foundation. And then next up is the video that I'm wearing. I mean, the video for the smoky look that I'm going to do. And I'm going to use this, my new NYX Roll-On Shimmer in Onyx that I just got from my glam bag. And I'm also going to use some colors from my Fafi Eyes eyeshadow palette, which, you know, if you don't have this palette, it's not to say that you can't do this look. You would just have to use whatever colors you have that semi-match this. So these are the colors that I'm going to be using. And I will be right back.